Pace car is off. We're ready to go racing for the round of 16 eliminator in Bristol, which usually is a wild one as we are underway. Daniel Suarez with an early edge on Ross Chastain, 175 laps here. It stages 50, 50, 75. I'm joined by Jay Cook up at the booth as usual. We cannot use the caution mod tonight because it causes absolute chaos at this track. So Jay, these guys will have to deal with single file restarts, lap cars potentially in the way as well, of course, as this race goes on. So we're going to have a bit of a throwback kind of night here, you could say.
And so far, Gary, a couple laps in, Suarez hanging on really well on the outside line against Chastain, and this time might even lead the second lap. He is going to lead the second lap, getting a good launch off of each corner, but then Chastain, of course, pulls back on the inside of the corners, but Suarez holding on really well on the outside. Not a lot of people able to do that behind him.
And we as well have 4 drivers that are going to get eliminated here tonight from the playoffs. AJ Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, Ryan Preece, and Austin Dillon.
Contact.
The 4 out coming into tonight. You saw, yeah, they are teammates, but they're not racing like it. Jay Chastain.
Down to the pit lane.
Yep, already some playoff implications in the background. Ryan Blaney into the pits. Potential mechanical issue there for the 12. And Jay, he comes into this race right now 27 points above the cut line. Piece of it. Jay, how salty do you think right now Christopher Bell is that he missed the playoffs because he's won the first 2 races of them?
Oh, I'm sure he's really upset about that. And you know, Hamlin is a part of the reason why I would say he missed the playoffs as well, Gary, because you think back to Atlanta where Hamlin wrecked Bell. That could have been a race that decided Bell's playoffs. And looking at the points gaps they have, looking at the drivers those are, and the way that they've competed this season, Gary, I got a feeling that even in the situation Blaney's in right now, he is okay.
I would agree with that statement now. How about Todd Gilliland, currently running 10th place, right in front of the front bumper of Kevin Harvick. These guys all going by on the inside of that 42.
Cindric right now just needs to keep his eye on the 16, focus on nothing but the 16. If he does that, he should be able to easily make it to the round of 12.
You see Brad Keselowski behind them. Keselowski's had 2 really good, strong races to start the playoffs, so he finds himself 27 points above the cut line. Price here is this. Oh, caution. Caution's on the track.
Oh.
We got Bubba Wallace.
Playoff implications.
Yes, playoff implications for 2 drivers that were already out, and we still could have collisions here.
Leaders.
Oh, good heavens. Chase Elliott just turned the 22 under caution and destroyed his front bumper, and as well, cars in the pit lane. What has happened here out of nowhere?
Oh no, Busch and Logano going to be a lap down.
So let's wait and see what happens with this 9 car as well. 2 different pit lanes can cause some drama with cars losing laps here tonight. There's so much potential drama, Jay, when it comes to this track. The 9's out. Chase Elliott's out of the race, and that adds even more drama. Here's a look. Bubba Wallace comes together with the 43 of Eric Jones on the exit of turn 2, turns him into the inside wall. Big contact there involving the 41, 31, 15, 3, 51, 21 as well. But then watch the leaders coming into this as well. Daniel Suarez is going to barely squeeze through. Unfortunately, we can still have contact without the mod that we're using, and you see in the background when the 9 turns the 22 of Logano around. So the pace car is off. The 2 front cars are not on the lead lap. Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Chastain's the leader. Second place has no front bumper. That's Christopher Bell. And Jay, really, it took 1 lap of racing to completely change the complexion of the playoff grid.
I think Bell looks okay, but I'm looking in the background. Eric Jones there is very much not okay. He was slow right off the rip, holding up Harvick a little bit, and Hamlin, Byron, even Harvick is going to be impatient, including Reddick through the middle, 3 wide. Let's see if this works out together. They should be okay. Plenty of room to go 3 wide here, but with Eric Jones right in front of them, that might make things a little sketchy. Contact Hamlin into the wall, 45 into the wall. They save it. They get away with it, but that's big-time contact. The damage there for the 11 of Hamlin. But either way, Chastain, Gary, going to easily win stage number 1. Bell fell back. Blaney has been able to stay in front of him. Blaney might stay 2 laps down instead of 3, but Chastain wins stage number 1. A lot of chaos things happening. Somehow the 20 who was destroyed finishes second.
And we've already got these guys slowing down as they come to the line. The last stage point is going to go to the 99. Ready to roll for stage 2. Chastain is the leader. Second place is Christopher Bell, but look at all the cars back there. Dennis Larson, Harvick. It's a lot of just, classic NR2003 chaos that we haven't really had to deal with much since we've been able to use the BC Better Cautions mod. But Jay, now this adds so much more of an annoying NR2003 element that I forgot existed that we got to deal with for the rest of this race. But Chastain, I'm sure, absolutely loving it right now as he is that stage 1 winner.
Bell, finally, we're seeing the 20 car without a front end, actually having the pace of a car with no front end, but Larson to the inside, still trying to get past him. The 20 car on the outside, somehow able to hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The 20 car is somehow doing everything he shouldn't be doing and defying all odds right now. Right there is the 2 and the 24 almost crashed together. But if we get another long run, it'll be interesting to see how the pace of the 5 and the 1 match up to each other.
Halfway through this stage, and we haven't had any accidents yet, so an improvement there. Alex Bowman's blowing up.
Just blew up.
Yeah, his night's over.
Elliott's not gonna like that one.
Nope, Hendrick Motorsports having a rough night. The only one they can't have to be, or don't have to be concerned about is that 5, who's already locked in. Not really done a whole lot in these playoffs so far. Beat his teammate of Bell in, as thought he was about to get turned across the bumper of the 54.
Yeah, I thought that his teammate there, he gets us car, was going to get Hamlin and turn him around.
He gets Hamlin.
But he already has a bunch of damage on the right and left side of that car, Gary. So Hamlin, very early in this race, we saw the big contact earlier between him and his teammate at Bell. Already with some damage there. Didn't get a fix for the last yellow. The 31 more damage as well. He just got into the wall right there. Hamlin going to go by on the inside. But luckily for Hamlin, Gary, even though he has not had the strongest start to these playoffs.
Larson is closing the gap, but you see why. Chastain is dealing with some traffic here, as Larson apparently himself. I was going to say Larson's definitely dealing with his fair share of it as well, as he's stuck behind this 43 of Eric Jones. Now, Jay, would be more interesting to see is if we can have these guys fighting together through the traffic instead of completely separate spots on the track. Ross Chastain down the back straightaway into turn 3. Your stage 1 winner is going to round the final turn. He's going to sweep the first 2 stages. That's 2 playoff extra points on the night. That's going to carry on into the round of 12, which we already know he's locked into. As, dear God, I hope this goes well. He's absolutely hauling the mail past.
Oh, boy. Well,
I don't know if Chastain's going to sweep the stages because he just caused a pile up. And thank goodness they get it sorted before it gets any worse. But, Jay, we just watched Chastain pile drive some drivers. Final stage, Chris Buescher is not leading. It is Kyle Larson over Chastain. A lot of lap cars that are not in the mix this time, thankfully, aside from the 17. We get underway, though, down into turn 1, Jay. We know that 5 car was definitely probably the second quickest car, if not maybe Kevin Harvick. But the question is, can he get past the 17? And then the next question is, how much speed does that 1 car of Chastain have?
Yeah, I think the 17 is going to hold up this group enough to where you may not see what speed Chastain does or does not have. But once they get clear of him eventually, I think we'll see Chastain maybe fall back a little bit. We saw earlier the 20 car was able to hold on pretty well when there was lap traffic in front of them. And then he, with Kyle Larson, also in the background, Gary, there's a sudden disconnect in the pack. And I saw a bunch of stuff going on back there. They're 2 and 3 wide with Logano about to kill the field.
Logano has brought out the caution. Denny Hamlin got maybe a tiny piece of that. That'll bring out the caution here in Bristol. Watch this, the 22 washes up into the 47 of Stenhouse on the exit of turn 2, 3 wide, and then he takes everybody with him, cleans the 47 out into the 77, takes out a teammate of Austin Cindric, who only enters the stage 10 points above the cut line. Green flag. This time Chris Buescher was able to move himself back towards the back of the pack after staying in front of the 5 at the time of the caution. We're back underway. Jay, we saw Logano wipe out a quarter of the field, including the 2 of Austin Cindric and Chase Elliott. Right now, maybe the more comfortable, because Cindric is the one that could find himself eliminated tonight based off of that accident and what AJ Allmendinger does. Currently, Allmendinger needs to beat him by 10 positions to tie him. He runs 16th right now, while the 2 runs 25th, putting him 1 point above the cut line. Number 5 as they cross the stripe again. Let's see, 9.5 tenths this time. Well, you know, 100th is still a game, Jay. If I'm Kyle Larson, I'm a bit concerned when a modified is going around this track quicker than I am.
I just saw somebody back there. I think it was a 24 go for a massive slide for a moment. They caught it, and he was able to not lose any positions out of it. But I think I saw him go for a massive slide, and luckily he was able to keep it under control. But Gary Chastain, super impressive. No front end, doing what Bell couldn't do earlier. And finally out of the way, Chastain getting closer and closer. Now he's got to deal with both the 43 and the 77. Interesting to see how he handles them. There, of course, already a lap down. 77
a lot easier for Chastain.
That helps out Chastain. Larson all over him. Larson's going to have no patience. Chastain all over the bumper, the 31. The 31 closing in on the 51. And Chastain this time, I think it's going to get held up more than Larson did previously.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're
Definitely
side by side. Oh, yeah.
Crash.
Oh, no way. Not what you want if you're Ross Chastain. The 2's not making life easy, though, on Larson. He's going to get back clear down the back straightaway. So it's not terrible right now for Chastain, but he needs to make very quick
Only
work.
lost 2 tenths.
Hold on. That's a really awkward spot to be in. If you're Chastain, oh, he's going to turn him. Oh, he turned him. He needs a caution to get a chance.
19 to Truex might have got into that.
Oh, no, it's the 45 of Reddick. Reddick gets a piece of it instead. Pace car's off. Kyle Larson ready to go back racing here now. 3 wins on the season, looking for 4, which would tie Chastain with the most, actually, as he is very well off, Jay, because that 51 is planted right in front of the 2nd and 3rd place car, Harvick and Chastain, but Harvick immediately to the inside.
Needs a lot of luck to go his way.
Wall ride.
Cautions. And the 8 of Kyle Busch and the 1
Oh!
necessarily a wall ride. There's a spin. The 10, the 23, the 2. Cindric Gary involved in another crash tonight.
Playoff drama implications. Bubba's got to another one. How many people is he going to wreck in the playoffs of this series? But just with the cars that are laps down, unfortunately, Allmendinger, still, he's going to need a miracle here.
Yeah, really going to need a lot of things to go right for the 16. It really all he needs is the 2 car to have another crash, but this time actually get taken out of the race. That's the best case scenario.
He's cruising.
Top 10. Oh my.
He
goodness.
is running P7, and I mean, Jay, look at this hornet's nest right here. Allmendinger's begging for the 2 to get wiped out. Oh, we have a crash. Oh, Cindric makes it. Cindric makes it. He gets a bit of contact
That's
with the
gonna
23.
end the race as well.
I think you're right. It has to. It's definitely gonna end the race in Bristol, but hold on, Kyle Larson still got to get around here as Truex is hauling the mail around the outside. They got to race it back. Larson makes it to the line as white flag is in the air. Might as well be official now. Kyle Larson is going to take the victory here from Bristol. And Jay, at the end of the day, after all the chaos, still the 4 same drivers that came in remain the 4 ones out, and I would say the exact 4 drivers we probably